My name's Dave Koss. My wife, Rossie, and I joined Travelers Rescue United Methodist Church right about 8 years ago. And I was raised Catholic, and Rossie was raised Baptist. And when we married about 27 years ago, we tried a number of different churches to try to compromise and settle in on something that we both could be comfortable with. And we joined a local Presbyterian church, and we were members there for a number of years, but we really never got truly involved in that church. Maybe that was just us. I don't know. Sometimes you think you have to really dedicate yourself to being involved, and maybe at that point in our lives we really weren't. So we'd go to Sunday services, and that was it. And then after a few years there, we kind of drifted away, and we went into a pretty long spell where we weren't associated with any church. Then 8 years ago, we were lucky enough to come to a wedding here at TRUMC, and we were immediately that day drawn to this church, and it didn't take long for Rossie and I to become members. You could feel the warmth of this church, and you could feel the acceptance. This church accepts everyone. And that openness and love that we felt started to cause a change in me. It's taught me to be less judgmental of people, and it's led me to be more invested in the church and with other members. Instead of just thinking about myself and inwardly, then not only am I affected inwardly, but now I feel like I'm part of a family. I've become more compassionate with members of the community, and I've tried to reach out more to people in need, and that's because of this church, because of walking with Christ and hearing that message that it's not just about me, it's about everyone around me and the acceptance of other people. So all I can say is I'm really thankful that I ended up here 8 years ago going to a wedding, and this church is changing my life.
So all I knew about the Methodist was that Baptist ministers stayed forever and Methodist ministers moved around. So we thought, well, we've been everything else. Why don't we give this Methodist thing a try? So we joined the church in 2013. But I found out quickly that in order to be involved in the church and love the church, you had to get involved and love the people. So we did just that. We jumped in, and we found that everybody at Travelers Rescue United Methodist Church was welcoming and loving, and they didn't judge anybody. They were just open arms, and we felt very much involved from the beginning. The church has been the most important part of my life since we joined. We became involved in Sunday school, growth groups, Bible studies, clubhouse volunteer, backpack ministry, and recently I became a Stephen minister. So this has made me closer to God, and I hope that the growth and involvement in the church has spilled over to everyone in the community and everyone that I've been involved in. We are God's children reaching out to everyone, and I thank God for the two ministers we have who are not only our ministers, but I consider true friends. My life changed for the better in 2013, and TRUMC changed that. They are truly serving God, walking with Christ, and changing lives. And I hope I'm a part of that.
My name is Howard Feaster. I moved to Travelers Rest 7 years ago. I came here through Jerry Hill, who was a pastor at Bunker Street United Methodist Church. And he recommended me coming down to see this church. So I came down and attended service, and I felt the presence of God in this church. As I began to come more regularly, I noticed that all the people that attended TRUMC were God-fearing people, and I just felt more comfortable with the United Methodist Church, because I grew up not really going to church. I knew of God, and I didn't know much about the Methodist faith, and so I started attending different classes, learning more about the Methodist faith, and I liked their hands-on approach to helping people, and it had me open up my mind and really wanting to help people in that way. It's changed my life in that I'm not one that comes up and approaches people and minister to them about God, but I find myself now, God touches my heart to do that, and I felt that was learned here at TRUMC. The family that I have here is just a blessing to me, because I've never really gone to a church as long as I have gone to this one. And they have changed my life in a drastic way. I have a better relationship with my children now, and I'm just still learning more about God. I was reading the Bible just the other day. I read Galatians 6:14, and when I read that from now forward, I always will think of TRUMC when I read that, because it's what they're about. May I never glory except in our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom I am crucified unto the world, and the world is crucified unto me. That's TRUMC.